to the CFG Game Cast, episode number 254, a weekly podcast created by gamers and streamers alike to discuss the latest gaming topics from the previous week. We stream a new episode every week and release it on all podcast services, so do us a favor and show us some love by liking, following, subscribing, or commenting on our Twitch page, twitch.tv/CFG Games, or on our YouTube page, The CFG, or check out all the awesome content that we like to do on our website, confreaksandgeeks.com, to not miss an episode. I am Mr. CFG Games himself, Davis Green, and with me today, I got two awesome co-hosts today. They are they're both awesome content creators. First, I'd like to welcome back a friend to the show. I'd like to welcome Das Good to the show. How are you doing again, sir?
Doing very good, my friend. Thanks. Good to be here.
Yes, that's awesome. I'm so glad. You know, I think it's the very first time. You know, it's funny. I've been like Lex is also here. Hi. Yes, Lex has talked to me about like DOS for literal years, and it's literally the first time I have ever like I've actually got a chance to talk to you and stuff. And you know, it's funny, like the last time I went to TwitchCon, we might have bumped in, and I had no idea that we knew each other at all. So
maybe I didn't even know Lex back then. So yeah,
that's a good point. Actually, I didn't know Lex back then either, but it's cool. But then welcome back, Dots. I'd love to talk video games with you today, as always.
Yeah,
so that'll be
excited.
awesome. Yes, and then also we got another special guest. He is also a content creator that does a lot of different kinds of variety and awesome. Check his stuff out on his YouTube page as well on Twitch as on Avatar Yaya. I'd like to welcome Avatar Yaya to the show. How are you doing, sir?
How is everybody doing? You know what? It's a good time because I really do feel like it's been a good already this year. I'm gonna just say it. This year for gaming has been kind of fire. I ain't gonna lie. Already, like I done played like 3 betas that I generally just liked. Right?
Yep.
Even if I got there's the hidden ones. That's the new arena fighter based off of Tori Noshida.
Yes,
the Outcast. Sonic Crossroads. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm so sad that I'm not playing that right now. Like
really,
after the beta dropped, I personally think it's my next favorite Sonic racing game since Riders. Wow. That is the bar I'm putting it in.
Riders? Wait, the one on the 360, the one that you had to use the Kinect?
Not that. We don't talk about free Riders. I'm talking about the ones before that. Not the trash they thought was okay. Like anybody wanted to play that. Okay. I'm talking about like the GameCube PS2 era. So, but yeah, that game's really good for a Sonic racing game. So far, it is like a little couple tweaks off from probably being one of the best multiplayer Sonic games we ever get.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I have, like when I was watching people play the beta for that game, I was like, this feels like what a seizure would look like. Because there's so much stuff is happening.
Yeah,
much, like you're just passing, then all of a sudden rings are coming out. Then it's like they're moving to different dimensions. What is happening?
That's why I said it's almost perfect, because I feel like a little couple things they need to tweak is like obviously the item balancing, you know, and the chaoticness, but it's supposed to be mad arcadey anyway. At the same time, it's a little too much, but the driving mechanics of it is made by the team who produced Initial D games. You know what Initial D is? It's the racing anime, you know, car anime from Japan.
90s.
Yeah, 90s. And yo, it feels so good to just play. Like literally, even if I don't like the items in the game, there's gonna be a mode where I can just turn them off and play with the homies if nobody wants to play with items and stuff like that. And that's good enough. No, okay, right? So outside of just balancing, it's pretty peak.
That's cool. That's cool. Well, I'm willing to try it and maybe and see. I'm not really a kart. Well, besides Mario Kart, but who isn't a Mario Kart fan? I mean, yeah. You know,
I like Diddy Kong Racing.
I do too. You know what's funny? Like
that was where we peaked, in my opinion, for racing.
You know what's funny, Dos? Like I don't usually bring it up because most people think like it's like sacrilegious to say that there's a game that's better than Mario Kart, and I think Diddy Kong was such a great game. Like
I think Pod Racer was better than Mario Kart, but that's just me.
Star Wars.
Star Wars. I don't know. That could be that. I don't know. That could be no. That
the
that
arcade
could be a hot take.
when you're actually in the pod at the movie theater and you got the arcade to the side and you actually get to.
Okay, so not like Star Wars Pod Racer on the 64 back in the day. Not that one. That's the one. Or are you talking about the arcade one? Because the arcade one,
you're
you're
right.
right.
I'm in the pod. I need the one where I'm in the pod.
The experience, you're right.
I can play as Bulba.
Oh god! Oh, Bulba. This is so crazy. I cannot believe I remember this stuff, but that's crazy.
Oh yeah.
Child of the 90s, clearly. But guys, also just wanted to let you know, we are definitely supporting we were less than a month away to be on Game On Expo in Phoenix, Arizona. It's going to be an awesome time. There's going to be some awesome people there. Lex, Smitty, and I are going to be attending. If you're wanting to join, we have a QR code on the overlay here, so just click, select on that and just put the code CFGG. You get a cool discount, and come greet us amongst the amazing things that are going to be at that event, which is going to be really fun. I just hope that the panel that we're going to do is going to be fun, because
I'm excited.
Yes, it's going to be
just a reminder though. Mm-hmm. Don't pick me up, guys. That's like a huge thing people want to do, is pick me up because I'm little. I'm still
goes
human.
To a con and do that? I mean, you know what? Never mind.
I do, but I ask first.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, you ask permission, and that's different.
Usually people ask me.
I know.
People ask me.
Pick me up, yeah. Puppies.
Like, can I lift you?
I'm not just gonna go lifting people up.
Oh yeah, but then again, nowadays, who knows what's going to happen? So it's crazy. So, but guys, I know y'all don't want to be talking about who can lift who and who can lift how many Lexes is going to happen. So let's go through the normal rigmarole that we like to do each and every week. So each of us chooses a topic, and you know what? I will change that up. So normally each of us chooses a topic of discussion in the world of video games that happened in the previous week, but unfortunately, this week has been pretty slow. And actually, you know what? That could be a good thing though too, because it's been like 0 to 60 this whole year so far. So we're just gonna change it up a little bit. We're just going to be writing it up. We got two awesome guests, and we're just going to talk. We're going to be talking games as always. And if there's something that you're wanting to chime in about, or if you have a question, this is probably the best time, because we don't usually. This is going to be a pretty good riff of what we normally like to do. So just type it inside the chat. Lex is here in the back that will be able to moderate it, and just if she sees anything cool, she'll definitely let us know, or you could just chime in and she'll chime in and go from there. So let us get this going. So earlier I was actually thinking about Monster Hunter. Now Monster Hunter is in my mind now. So and I just found out that all three of us play it. And just wondering though, like, you said, so Avatar, you said your first Monster Hunter was Monster Hunter Freedom Unite, right?
Yes.
Okay, and then is this your first one too? Is this your first Monster Hunter that you messed with, DOS, or?
So I downloaded, actually, it's funny you mentioned Freedom Unite on the PSP, because I downloaded like a PSP emulator on one of my old phones, and I tried Freedom Unite a little bit. It did not play very well in the emulator, and then I actually played like an hour of World. It was World the last one, yeah?
Yeah, the World was the last big one. So I
played like an hour of that one, and I'll tell you what, I thought I was done with that series, because the monsters, when you would like injure them and they would like run away, they were like too realistic for me, because they would like limp and like whimper and stuff, and I'm like a big softie for animals, and so like I just like I couldn't play any more of that game. I felt so bad for the monsters, dude, and so I was like, I'm not gonna play this new Monster Hunter. I don't know, and I don't know what it is, but fuck these monsters. My cat needs armor. My cat needs drip. I am more than fine to murder these. I don't know if they just look more evil. I don't know if it's because like the cutscenes are so long that I'm like, all right, I just gotta kill something. Like let me get to killing something. I don't know what it is, but I'm more than happy to chop these things up and eat them and make armor out of them. So
do you know what it is though? I think I know what it is. You found something more to love, and that's your cat.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I'm totally fine. And I think the last, I don't know if you could customize your palico in the last game. I didn't have a cat last game either. Yeah, okay, you could customize. Oh, I didn't have a cat back then.
The last game before this one was Rise, and then it was World.
Oh, okay. So I forgot Rise came out in between there.
To be fair though, Rise, I don't consider it to be a full direct sequel itself, because Rise was kind of like a half step, but there was a lot. I mean, don't get me wrong, there was a couple of new monsters, but the majority was a recycled set of monsters throughout its history. From it, and it was initially released on the Switch, so most of it really wasn't like to the capacity of what World was, in my opinion, and then to now, and it's not even a candle to what it is now. The one thing that Rise did have was a grappling hook that allowed you to like move around a lot, but like, yeah,
that's debatable. That's
okay.
debatable.
What?
That's debatable because like
was it not that navigable?
No, because like right now the common, it depends on who you ask about Monster Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
And like with Wilds, a lot of people feel like the game is safe because Rise was crazy with the wire bug, right?
Was it like ODM gear?
It can be. Pretty much like that, right? Like you had certain things that you can just skip over with the wire bug, or like you could pull yourself up and dunk the monster down. Like that was different combos.
There was a lot of different things you could have done. Yeah. It was very versatile for the wire ability.
I think what Wilds does amazing, because at first I was like, I don't know, y'all. This might not be it. And then I got to the part of the story where it's like, you get 2 weapons now. I was like, oh, that's dope, because now it lets me experiment different blade combos, weapon combos, and it helps me help out the team. Like if I'm playing with new people, like I've helped so many people in the last reason why I haven't beat the story mode. I've helped like 4 or 5 of my friends that just are terrified of spiders. And the arachnophobia mode doesn't cover the tail or the other limbs because it wouldn't work for Monster Hunter, because like certain limbs give you certain pieces and you need to be able to target those. Right. So I've been helping them do that. And I've realized like, okay, if they're terrified of this, how can I get past with this? Well, I need to knock them down. So I play the hunting horn and I stack above it and I just clear them to keep stacking the knockdowns with the bow. I'm primarily bow user. Then I found out I like the bow gun, but I don't know. I think both games, they're both amazing. Yeah. I just think visually, Wilds clears. Like that's
yeah, if I sound negative about Rise, I'm not. It's just that
you're not. I get what you mean though.
I think it's a fantastic game. Now, is it better than the World? I would say no, but like I think you chose better between the two there, Das. But Rise though like takes it to another level, surprisingly. And then on top of it, I don't know how you're playing. Are you playing it on PC or on console?
I'm on PC.
PC. Okay, I'm playing it on console, and the thing that killed me on World was the loading time, because it was just like and then it took forever on the zones. The fact that that they changed it to an open world system, the way that their open world is so much more like streamlined, and then they're able to disguise the different zones a little bit, like with the secret, like jumping all like side jumping into the next zones and stuff. Amazing. So no, I'm like, man, like I'm with you, man. I'm just wanting to kill the monster so I can design my cat to dress up my cat. Right. Yeah.
So what weapons are you guys using?
I am so my primary is the switch axe. I love the switch axe. But I play hunting horn, hammer, charge blade, and gun lance. So so I could so I definitely love dealing I really think the hunting horn is very it's weird. Hunting horn is not an underrated, it's a very powerful assist weapon, but I don't think a lot of people are aware of it, and it's been around forever. It's incredible.
To be fair, it looks ugly.
Oh, it does look ugly, yeah.
Yeah, like you gotta, like
that was the first thing I tried, because you told me I can hit this thing with a saxophone. I was like, so that was the first weapon I really tried, and then it being like a support weapon that hits like really big and heavy. I was really attracted to that.
I love the fact that you can hit it with the saxophone is like upside down, so it's like the big blunt end of the sax. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you? What do you use? Do you use the hunting horn too?
Hunting horns. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I thought you was asking me. My bad. But
no, you're good.
With the hunting, I use everything. I can use everything. I don't use the lances. No, I'm okay off that. Y'all got that. Like
I didn't like it either.
Yeah. The lance was a fix. Like I just wanted to learn it, and then when I did, I was like, you know what? I could see the gun lance is really powerful, but it's it's an acquired taste. I would agree with you there.
The gun lance looked pretty cool. I don't like the slow movement with it. I can see why people really like it. I just actually last night went through like every weapon in the training ground because I'm new to the series, so I don't really know what most of them are. And I do love the hammer too. The hammer is a lot of fun. It's kind of brain dead, I think, but it's fun to just bonk, bonk, bonk. And I've kind of fallen in love with the insect glaive. I really enjoy now.
A lot of people like the insect glaive, so no, it is a very fun system. It's a very like if you're wanting to optimize it, it is kind of to me it's complicated. Maybe it's not with the files and systems and stuff because there's a lot of different mechanics that you can do in it. But it is definitely a fun system.
I'm really digging it because I like jumping on the monsters and it's so easy to get mounts and attack them that way. And I like all the different insects you can have and how it's a little more customization. And I don't know, it feels like I got a pet with me and playing the floor is lava. I don't know. I really enjoyed that play style the most out of all of them.
That is true, man. So like, so just like, so if there's something that you kind of get annoyed, like what's something that you would say that the game could improve to enjoy, for your experience, better for the, when you play Monster Hunter?
Cutscenes could be a little bit, just move a little bit faster, for sure. To keep my attention, they could explain a lot of things better because like there's a lot of things with the weapons like I did not know unless I looked them up, especially with the insect glaive. Like there's, or I mean, I guess they're like in the game files, but you really have to go digging for it. There's not like a good sort of tutorial on all the ins and outs of each individual weapon. And I've just been watching videos today on the insect glaive, and there's so much I've learned that if it's in the game files, like I did not realize how to get there and how to look those up.
You know what's funny about it? The history of Monster Hunter. Theoretically, like World is the first one I would say that actually gave you a tutorial, like a theoretical tutorial of how to use the weapon. Because the original ones, and I'm pretty sure Avatar can back on this though too. The original ones was like, okay, here's your weapon, have fun. They don't even tell you anything. They just had to figure it. You had to figure it out, and then all it was literally what it is. You're just hunting monsters. There was no story. You just had to go and just say, "Hey, we're just going to fight." So in that sense, I think that they're still trying to get their run, like the understanding to make it to be like we want to make it hard. We want to make people like explore, but at the same time, we don't want to just give it to the player initially. They'll eventually figure it out. So I still think that they're messing with that balance, that balance in it.
Yeah, I think the big thing about Capcom right now is a lot of stuff in Wilds can be annoying to navigate because this is their first time doing crossplay. So a lot of the menus are like extra or maybe like more annoying to read to get through. I know that's a big thing with Wilds, like doing multiplayer for some people for the first time. It can be very annoying and obnoxious. You don't even want to deal with it. But I will say the tutorials of the games, like there was never really a strong tutorial really, which is why I like the story mode because it just helps you refresh something. Because I feel like once you beat the story mode, all right, bro, if you're trash, you didn't pay attention. Go ahead and do the boss again. That's how Monster Hunter teaches you. But back then, Monster Hunter just literally was like, oh, you do got a training area. They want you to get used to learning how to use your weapon. And the game has gotten better from the jump, like gotten better describing the combos and what they can do at least. So.
That's a good point. Yeah, I totally agree. It's funny to me. Like I love playing this game with people. Like this is one of the very seldom games that I like playing with other people because I usually hate playing online because just like to talk to folk. I mean, I play online, but I like not talking to people online because it just gets too crazy. Hence Marvel Rivals, folks, if you all understand what I mean. And, basically any BR or any of that nonsense. But anyways, I digress. The one thing I really hate is the amount of the process for you to just go online and play with other people sometimes, like, or your friends. Like, you have to, it's weird. Like you have to go into a link. Well, if you're wanting to play with your friend, you can go into a thing called link your, link a member or whatever. But then if you're wanting to have them see what you're seeing, you have to go into another subcategory link to say link environment and with your members and stuff like that. And then what's worse is that if you're doing the story mode, you can't just easily just link up into a person for story mode. Instead, what you have to do is that they have to watch the cutscene before you're able to get into the link with the person, or oh no, they can even after that, then they would have to do an SOS, let you know that they did an SOS, so you can get in there before someone else does. Which is
it's a little convoluted,
yeah, it is ridiculously convoluted, and I've always wondered why is it so hard for them to do that, but I'm sure
they're trying to go to someone's Animal Crossing island or something.
That's exactly. Oh yeah, please use your island
put in my
code.
16-digit friend code, then wait for me to get to my island.
Yeah.
Now you can come over.
By the way, the person who decided to make a friend code and just think that people will remember that should just should probably just retire, because that is just insane to me. But but at least
It's weird that I can't just invite, like, again, I think some companies do it because it's easy to just tie it all into the mainframe of the game itself versus doing it through and working with 3 different, infrastructures, PSN, to Xbox Live, to Steam. And I get why it's probably that case, but in a lot of scenarios, I'm like, bro, it feel like a hassle to add somebody. I might as well just go ahead and just buy the game again,
right.
Sometimes. But I do think Capcom in this case, they did a really good way of doing the invites. Because a lot of things that used to annoy me, I haven't had issues like that in this game compared to Rise or even World. Mm-hmm. But getting friends in sometimes would be so annoying because the games would just drop.
Mm-hmm. I've had that a couple of times in this one.
Okay, so that's fair. But from my experience, this game being bigger and I'm not experiencing that as much is crazy. I've never really had a DC yet from somebody joining or playing.
That's good. Yeah, that's really good. Snake Eyes says hunting horn for the wind, and that's perfect. Yeah, exactly. So now, I haven't found, there's always, I'm not good with long ranges, so I usually stay away from the bows and stuff, but the bows are, I give folks respect on playing that weapon.
I would like to learn one of the ranged weapons just to have the option, but I've struggled with all 3 so far, so I'm still trying to figure out which one I want to pursue.
So you're still I mean, you're very at the very beginning, so you're at the very good spot to kind of mess around and see what your style is.
Yeah.
And at least you have a lot of different kinds of choices. It's either big, blunt, and slow, or fast, quick and fast and stuff like that. I usually like stuff with shields that you can actually block, because sometimes I'm terrible with being agile and trying to dodge, but it's just my goofiness in itself. So
my timing for parries and guards and stuff is awful. So I'd rather just try to jump out of the way and be as mobile as I can, and which is different from most games. Most games I'd rather be tanky, but in this game I don't like feeling slow with the shields, and I'm not gonna hit the perfect guard, and I'm just gonna eat it, while I'm trying to block. So I'd rather just get the glaive and play the floor is lava and jump all over the place and try to get on its back.
That's perfect. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's good. But like I said, I know we could basically do a whole show on freaking Monster Hunter, but we can move on to the next thing. Haseo says, yeah, he left me on the first night and I got jumped by the monster. Listen, Haseo, I know you like to make me look like the bad guy, okay? but you had it coming. I'm just kidding. No, but the biggest thing is, it's just I don't even know what I did. I don't even remember. Oh, I had to change my link shell or whatever, or my group shell, because I spelt the name wrong, and you can't change the name once you create it. So you had to delete everything and then just start again from scratch. But then again, you survived. Look at you. You're high level than me right now, so you survived.
Your link shell. I know that reference.
Final Fantasy 11. I played a lot of that back in the day. Yeah. It's so easy.
They got them in 14 too.
Do they? Oh, I thought they called them something different. No, that's perfect. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, but no. But anyways, let's go on to the next topic, which is actually something that I was thinking about. Now, are any of y'all fans of the Assassin's Creed series?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
Okay, so I don't know if I'm the odd man out on this because I haven't played all of the Assassin's Creed. I've been kind of 50-50. Not even 50-50. Let's say 20-80. I only played maybe like 2 or 3 of them. I played Assassin's Creed 2 and I played was it 2 and 3 and was it Black Flag? The
Black Flag, yeah, the pirate one.
Yeah, the pirate one, and then that was it. And I was like, you know what? It's just more of the same. So, as you could tell, wow, did you just he just disappeared? I was like, what happened?
He's playing Assassin's Creed.
Change. Changing my camera real quick. There we go.
I was thinking of that gif of that dude just saying peace and just disappeared.
Oh, no. He just did it. Oh my god.
That's perfect. Oh, I love that. That's great. Okay, I was saying with Assassin's Creed itself, the newest one that's coming out, is people are kind of on edge with it, especially Ubisoft, because it's a must win for Ubisoft itself. I was just wanting to know if I was the odd man out on, like, is it something like what's y'all's expectations for that upcoming game, or are y'all still planning on getting it and trying to experience it? Like, what's y'all's take, since y'all are fans?
I definitely have a lot to say about it, but Avatar, I would gladly give you.
All right, so I'll speed run it. My history with Assassin's Creed, it was one of my favorite franchises. I played Assassin's Creed 1 when it came out and all the way up to, I want to say, Origins. I was that deep into Assassin's Creed. They started doing the whole RPG element thing, and I know that's weird if y'all see this and hear this coming from me, because I'm big on like Final Fantasy primarily, but it just didn't feel the same for Assassin's Creed. And I think what this is the one I've been wanting for so long. I've wanted Assassin's Creed Japan or Assassin's Creed China. And they did give us one before, but not in the vein of like a full scaped out one, not a 2D one. And I think that's what everybody's been waiting on. And they're giving me that. So the concept, the time period, and the era they're adapting is what I really want from Assassin's Creed for so long. But then Ghost of Tsushima comes out, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like Assassin's Creed on crack when it came out. And like, I still have my own expectations for this game, Assassin's Creed. But this month, sadly, they delayed it too much, so I won't be buying it day one, but I will be peeping in and looking around. This month I'm focused on Bleach this month. But other than that, I usually buy Assassin's Creed day one. It's just they kept delaying it, and who knows, I might end up caving anyway. I could be yapping right now, but I do think the game should be a solid experience, and the fact that there's 2 sides to the story this time will give us another type of Assassin's Creed that we really haven't gotten, right? So they know, I feel like Ubisoft knows that they got to cook with this in some way, shape, or form. Having the samurai gameplay, be honest with you, as funny as it is, I don't really care about the samurai portion of it. I care about the now portion of it, because that's going to be the heavy assassin element that they bring with the Japan and things of that nature. Overall, I'm not expecting it to be Goldie level, but I'm expecting it to be a fun experience overall. So
before we get to DOS though, so are you just basically saying that like you would be content if they didn't have to reinvent the wheel, but rather they just make the game the same kind of level of like of it, or like are your expectations like any higher, or like so it makes you kind of hyped for it in any way?
So my hype for the game is really high. I play it off like I'm not. Like, I'm probably gonna see it, the review scores, and I'm gonna be like, oh wow, $70 just fell on my wallet. Wow, I don't know what happened. But like, that's usually me with Assassin's Creed anyway. That's a franchise that I will drop and stop and roll for. I think what this game does is, well, my problem with Assassin's Creed is my favorite one is 2 and Black Flag. If anybody wants to know, 2 and 4 are my favorite ones. But what it does for me is that it shows that Assassin's Creed can be more layered than it normally is. And I wrote off some of the Assassin's Creed after Origins. Odyssey was like okay-ish. Valhalla, I was like, yeah, I'm probably done with the series right now. That's the one I ain't like. I couldn't do Valhalla.
Oh, okay.
But I think Assassin's Creed changed its formula too much, where it was doing this RPG elements, and there was segments where like getting the assassins kills wasn't always just kills. Like enemies wouldn't just die, and it felt like you had to play the game differently. Assassin's Creed, I want to say after like Origins a little bit, even in Origins, I believe you couldn't progress if you were a certain level. So now you have to go stop playing the main game to go grind for so many levels or so points before you could go back into it. It was a mess, personally. And I feel like that's where a lot of people feel so distraught with it. And they brought Mirage. Mirage was pretty solid for what it was, in my opinion, but it wasn't nothing revolutionary for a type of reboot or return to form. So I'm hyped for it. I just literally I'm buying it because I see Japan and Samurai. That's honest. That's the honest truth. Like I'm not gonna like
that's fair.
Sit there and get it. Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Das? What's your take?
So I didn't play the first one. I watched it a lot. My friend was playing it. That made me want to get 2, and I think 2 and it's Companions, Brotherhood, Revelations. I think that's like some peak Assassin's Creed right there. Is what's called the Ezio Chronicles, because you're playing the Italian guy, Ezio de Auditore de Firenze, and it's so good. The story is amazing. The gameplay is just peak. It's a lot of fun. I really like 3 too, because 3's kind of like the black sheep of the series, because it wasn't quite as good as 2. And I think we can all kind of agree on that. The main character is just not quite as interesting.
I think story wise it was kind of a mess, because I feel that the direction of the story, where I mean spoilers, but then again they go, dude, it's like 15 or 20 years. But anyways, the direction of the story is that he's the son of a Templar.
Mm-hmm.
Of a Templar, and he's trying to get his revenge his revenge from all of this. But like it was weird, and cityscape wise it wasn't like tall buildings and stuff like that,
that was different too. Yeah, you're not climbing these cathedrals and towers. You're climbing 2-story buildings and trees and stuff. But
it's like
really
Spider-Man being relocated to Boston or something, It's you can't do anything.
Or Cleveland, I don't know. And but I still really like the setting. I think the Revolutionary War is super interesting. So, and it's fun, killing redcoats and stuff, and fighting the British and all this, and using muskets and stuff like that. So it still holds a nice place in my heart. And then Black Flag was incredible. Black Flag was huge. Sailing is so much fun. All the ship combat, all the characters were really charming. The story was good. And I actually really liked Rogue too, which is like this Black Flag spin-off where you play a Templar, and that was pretty fun too, in my opinion. And that's kind of the last time I really got into the series. I would love to play Syndicate and Unity sometime. They look cool. And then when Valhalla and Odyssey came out, I remember thinking like that doesn't look like Assassin's Creed to me. Like, as I saw things like have health bars and there's like kind of an RPG element, and people are saying, these games take like 90 hours just to get like into. Yeah, and I'm like, I don't have that kind of time to like get into a game. And so while the settings look cool, Viking setting, mythological Greek setting or ancient Greece setting, they looked really cool. I kind of passed on them because just the gameplay looks so much different from the series that I really loved, and it didn't quite look the same. And I think I played the demo for Mirage, and I really didn't like it. I did not like it at all.
Oh, wow.
And so those of us that really like Black Flag, remember, and Black Flag has been out, I want to say Black Flag came out.
I think it was a day. I think it was a day when PS4 came out. It came out either the first year when that system came out, or
it's at least 12 years old. It came out after Skyrim, which was 2011. So yeah, it's at least 12 years old. My point being, those of us that played Black Flag remember right after Black Flag came out and it was a huge hit and everybody loved it, they started teasing another game that was supposed to be like a spin-off of Black Flag that was going to be multiplayer Black Flag. And that game was called Skull and Bones.
Oh, don't get me started with that.
That game didn't. That game was teased. They made it sound like it was going to come out in a year, maybe tops. And so finally, it came out. I think last year. Finally, like 12 years later, we'd hear like every now and then something about Skull and Bones again. Oh, this is the year Skull and Bones is going to come out. 12 years later, after Black Flag, Skull and Bones finally comes out. And it feels like a mobile game, and it's so freaking bad. It's so terrible, and so put a pin in that. Going back to what is the new Assassin's Creed?
Shadows.
Japan? Shadows. Okay.
Yeah.
I've just become Assassin's Creed Japan.
Assassin's Creed Japan.
So of course, in Assassin's Creed, you go to ancient Greece, and you're in Viking times, and Italy, but as an assassin, people are always like, when do we get to be a ninja? When do we get to be a samurai? Like that's always been like the number one, where's Assassin's Creed going to go next? Please make it Japan, please make it China, something like that. And so finally that's happening. And as for Ghost of Tsushima, by the way, I feel like I've slept on that game. I really want to give it a try sometime.
Oh, you will definitely love that game if you like.
When it came out, I thought it was a Soulsborne type of game. And as cool as those games are, they're just not for me. I've played like an hour of each Souls game. I tried to get into them. They're just not for me. And I kind of have to. And so I assumed Ghost of Tsushima. I don't know why. I thought that's what it was. So when somebody told me it was an Assassin's Creed style game, I'm like, what am I missing? I need to go back and play this. Like that sounds amazing. Everything I've heard about it. I need to go back and play it. So we're finally going to Japan. We're finally going to be an Assassin's Creed Samurai. And as hype as I really want to be for that, I don't know how the games are playing these days. I don't know if they're more of that Odyssey, Valhalla style that does not look appealing to me. I don't know if it's going to play more like 2 or 3 or 4, that I really, really like. And on top of all that, I'm kind of convinced that Ubisoft is trying to run their company into the ground.
I think everyone does.
It really feels like they're like trying to drive the value down to the point where someone buys them out. I don't know. That's just the vibe I'm getting because Skull and Bones was so bad. And I want to say, wasn't there another really bad game that came out?
The most recent one that was a failure for them was Star Wars. Can't remember the name of it, but it was
the one that was supposed to be like Star Wars Overwatch.
No, that was delayed or canceled. I can't remember. No, there was I can't remember what it's called. Hold on. If anyone in chat knows, please let us know. But I know it was Star Wars Outlaws. It was Star Wars Outlaws. Yeah, that's what it was.
Outlaws. That's right. Yeah. And I played Outlaws too, and I was so hyped for what I thought was going to be Star Wars GTA. I thought this was going to be GTA, Endor, GTA Coruscant. I was so amped for that. And people were shitting on it because they were like, it's Ubisoft, and they've been known for just not. I was like, I'm going to give them a chance, guys. Star Wars Outlaws looks pretty cool. I'm excited. And it's bad. It was also really bad. And I tried to give it a chance. And God, man, it just it felt like it was missing so much flavor. And I don't know, the character was really weird. Like 1 minute she's like this criminal savant and she's like talking her way past this, and then picking these locks, and the next moment she's like stumbling over shit and like bonking her, like she's super clumsy, like and it just felt really limiting. Even though it was like kind of open world, it still felt really limited. And so I really wanted to love that game too. And so after Skull and Bones, after Outlaws, it's hard for me to get hype about Shadows and expect it to be a good game and a good experience when everything I've seen so far has been telling me, like,
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, just by the natural things, it's not like you're expecting it to be like the shining savior when you're seeing that they've been consistently making they've been consistently making duds for a long time. Yeah. And the only good game that they'd had, in my opinion, was the new Prince of Persia game that came out last year. And it's an incredible 2D game, but then they closed the studio down. because even throughout its success.
So I'm saying it seems like they're intent on driving their own stock price down, and it sucks that if that is true, if that conspiracy is true, we're going to find out pretty soon when Shadows comes out. It sucks that that is happening when we finally get Assassin's Creed Japan.
Yeah. Here's the question though too, because like you're saying, because I'm now I'm not really familiar with Assassin's Creed's history. When did they start doing the full RPG elements? Was that Odyssey was the first one that they started doing it, or was that prior to that?
It was kind of around like Unity Origins when they started doing like the RPG like design. Yeah. Okay. So it was like after Black Flag, I think it was a little bit after Syndicate, even around that era. So like I want to say 2017-ish, 2018.
Okay.
They probably started pushing it, but yeah, it become way apparent in Origins though. I could definitely remember that Origins doesn't play like the rest of Assassin's Creed.
Okay. Okay, so like, is it a normal consensus that y'all are not fans of that RPG element, or is it y'all just weren't fans of the fact that it took so long to kind of, get things going inside the game in the progression?
Well, the formula changed. So like, it's always going to be a divisive split in some areas. Well, like you could see some people talk about Assassin's Creed now and be like, this is mid. This is going to suck. They need to stop the RPG stuff. Some people love it. Some people don't, and that's a thing that I've always seen. Even if I see negativity of something, there's always a group of people that do love it.
Well, not you, like you yourself itself.
Like, me personally, I don't hate the RPG elements. I don't want it in Assassin's Creed. Okay. I think that's the big thing that changes this for me, because it made the gameplay feel completely different. When you incorporate a whole new gameplay style to a series and it's not the main thing, right? It tends to like now annoy everybody, right? And for me, like, I like RPGs. My favorite games, one of my favorite games of all time is Final Fantasy VII. And in that case, when they add RPG elements, like it wants to be an action RPG. And like sometimes you can't just quick take down enemies. They'd be way stronger than you. And that's never been an Assassin's Creed thing, right? And me personally, I'm also not a person that's anti like the length of the game. The reason why the game is so long is because certain sections come out to be more grindy, right, than before. You can just go through it and have an experience of like, all right, this might be hard, but I can still beat it. Now the game is like, oh my gosh, you're a level 5 Pikachu and you're trying to fight the gym leader that's level 75 at the beginning of the thing. And it's like, why? And the game, I don't know. It's just really weird with like modern Assassin's Creed in a lot of areas. It's like, why are they doing this? Like, they're probably good games, but not for the fans that love those games.
Okay, fair enough. What about you, Doss? What do you think?
No, I agree. Yeah, it feels like it just, and I haven't played any of these RPG style ones, but it just looks like a shift in the fundamental gameplay elements that made Assassin's Creed like what it was and why I enjoyed it so much. And it's interesting you bring up Final Fantasy VII too, because I love Final Fantasy as well, and I've always been a big fan of the series, but I've struggled to get into some of the newer games because they have the active battle system, which doesn't look appealing to me compared to like the turn-based system, which I really prefer for an RPG, at least in Final Fantasy. Like Final Fantasy is turn-based to me, so it's hard for me to get into these newer games where it just doesn't feel like I'm playing Final Fantasy.
Have you played 16? Like, have you messed with 16 before?
I have not played 16 at all, no.
See, like, I'm with you there because I love turn-based and I love job class systems. But like, even though 16 isn't either of those, I think you would enjoy it by just the story, like alone. So I would give it a good, try to give it a good shot. I mean, and yeah, it does make me sad that they're well. I'm pretty much convinced that Square just doesn't like turn-based anymore because if you've noticed, they haven't made a turn-based RPG, and we're not. I mean, not including.
I
Dragon
believe
Quest.
they've basically said that like that they feel like it's not as appealing to today's gamer, and they think like gamers today like they don't have the attention span for it, or they find it more boring.
Yeah, I think that's bullshit because when you see like metaphor.
Baldur's Gate 3 was all turn-based.
Yeah.
I think the problem is Square Enix is probably realizing like they listen too much to the media. I think that's the problem. They listen to the reviews and they let that dictate the stigma of their games and stuff like that. And I think that's a huge problem in its own right because you got like Persona, Metaphor, right? You got
Like a Dragon is even like a technically turn-based though too.
Yeah. And I think that's their whole stick right now. And I think they're probably looking off the cusp of like, all right, this is this, this is that. And I think Square Enix needs to do both again because I thoroughly do enjoy the action RPG side for Final Fantasy because it's still Final Fantasy at its core with its storytelling. Gameplay is when it gets divisive. Either you like it or you don't. But I do think with Square that they need to tackle both turn-based and the action RPG crowd because Final Fantasy is such a diverse series compared to something like, Yakuza. Yakuza has its own spin-off thing, you know what I'm saying? Like they did like a dragon, but the current game right now is action again. At least taking a risk with it again while all these other companies are coming out and doing it. I think what Square needs to do, I don't know if y'all know about this series, but if y'all know about like Trails in the Sky. It's one of the up and coming. Yeah, like they need to learn how to take an approach to their gameplay format where like it's like primarily turn based with a little bit of action elements in it as well.
Yeah, but
that way
they've veered away from turn based for a long time. Like really, the last true turn based game that they've made that was like I would have to say Final Fantasy X. Was the last one because like what happened because 11 through 16 was never it's been over like 10 to 15 years already. Like it's been forever when this for a last Square game specifically, but I'm not including Dragon Quest because Dragon Quest they'll never veer off of that way because but that's really more on the Enix side of Square. But I just feel but anything that is turn-based isn't under the Square logo. It's under like Tokyo RPG or a different publisher that Square does own as a subsidiary. However, I just think that it's fine. They want to try to create something new and understand and change it and whatever, then so be it. But specifically for the Final Fantasy series, I just think that it's that and ever since when Hironobu Sakaguchi left Square, they just set the direction of Final Fantasy somewhere else where I don't think that they knew where they were going to go with it. I mean, it is what it is at this point, but I'm pretty much convinced that we're never going to see another turn-based Square a Final Fantasy game again, and that's unfortunate, but it is what it is, I suppose. I know we kind of veered from Assassin's Creed to this, but let's go with we'll switch over to the final topic, and it's actually something interesting that I was actually wondering too, and since it's different places and different kind of gamers, we all know GTA 6 is going to get their money and then some, right? And I don't know, are y'all planning on getting that when that comes out?
Go ahead, yeah.
This is a hot take, and I'm on the fence of I'm gonna bring up the context. If I don't see multiplayer day one, they can keep that shit. Real rap, like. My thing is, I grew up with GTA, and it's just fun that, like, for me, I feel like I've grown out of just the GTA phase of things. And, like, literally, if I buy GTA now, I just want to do cheat codes. I don't care about the story and stuff like that. Even though GTA 4, in my opinion, has the best story, I just want to do cheat codes and blow up stuff, and I'm going to turn it off. Right? So I'm spending $70 to just do something I'm going to do for like an hour or two now.
Yeah.
Right? That's not going to hold my attention in that way. At least with the multiplayer, and I was the type of family person that was like, you can't play GTA, yada, yada. So I was hiding under the covers, playing it with the volume on like 1, playing San Andreas and shit. And I was like, okay, I love these story modes. But outside of that, like, I just generally want to do cheat codes, flying cars, and blow stuff up and, shoot police, yada, yada, that type of stuff, right, in GTA. And when the multiplayer came out for 5, I had so much fun playing the multiplayer because it felt like I was doing the stuff what I do by myself with friends. And that added a whole other layer to the game that I really want from it. And not saying GTA 6 is not going to be an amazing game without it. It probably will be. But I just really like the multiplayer aspect. That it had racing in there. We had team deathmatch. I didn't have to buy a Call of Duty that year. Like, it was giving me every game I want in one game. Right?
Okay, fair.
So for me,
fair.
like, it's so much. I don't know. Maybe when we get another trailer, like a gameplay trailer, and seeing how stuff flow out, my opinion might just switch up. I might change.
All right, cool.
But,
yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
what about you, Das?
Yeah. I'm. There really hasn't been much of any gameplay release, has there?
Just the trailer, the first trailer, and that was it.
Yeah, and that kind of makes me concerned about whether or not it's even going to be released when they say it is. It's been delayed for so long. Like, I don't even know if I'm confident it's going to come out this year.
Were you ever a GTA fan though? Like,
I've always loved GTA. Oh yeah. I mean, since the third one, which was the one that kind of made that jump to like 3D and for PlayStation 1, and like that was groundbreaking. And me and my buddies, we played so much. San Andreas, and 4, and Vice City. And some of the most fun I've ever had playing GTA is just like sitting on a friend's couch and like seeing how many stars you can get before you die, and then passing the controller. Like that's like probably the most hours of any kind of GTA I've ever done.
Okay, so yeah,
and I do like the story mode. Okay, it doesn't really last very long, especially the last one. The story mode was not really all that long, and it was decent, but it didn't stick with me too much. So I mean, I'll play the story mode, okay, but then it's like kind of what's going on after that. For most people, that's GTA Online. I did play a lot of GTA Online for 5, getting all the buildings and the playing with my friends online a lot. So I'm excited for that. I'm curious what the monetization is going to be like, because I thought it was interesting that 5 was the first GTA to get like 0 DLC, 0 extra kind of story. And it seemed like that was mainly because they would rather focus on the more lucrative side of things, which is, pumping GTA Online content. So people were buying the shark cards and buying the GTA bucks and all that kind of stuff. And so I wonder if that's going to change in the future and maybe be a little more aggressive for our dollars, because they've seen already like that is the cash cow. So that's I would find it hard to see them not building around that for the future. And things like the story might suffer. I don't know, this is totally kind of speculative, but when we already know like that is their $1 billion compared to anything else they can do for GTA. I gotta feel like they're gonna build with that in mind, for this game. So we'll see. I also it's rough because like I mainly play on PC. I have an old Xbox One. I have an old PS3, but those games don't come out on PC for like another year and a half. So I don't know. It sucks to think about buying a console like when I'm only gonna play it for GTA.
That's crazy. Hey, that's probably that's the way it was designed. It clearly is the way it was designed. That's
something I gotta consider. And yeah, we'll see. I'll have to do that when it comes to it. But
okay, so I don't know. Okay, so like for me personally, I'm not I did play a lot of GTA when I was younger. I would like I'm with you there. When I played the old school GTA 1 and GTA, but I didn't play 2 because I think GTA 2 was the one in London or something like that.
I didn't play 1 or 2. I've only played 3 on.
Oh yeah, GTA 1. Oh, the top view was so bad.
I have not played any of the top view ones. I've seen it, but yeah.
Yeah, but then when 3 came out, 3 was the turning point of it, and then it just moved up from there. Vice City, San Andreas, 4 and 5. But 5, I believe, like the thing I think that made 5 really different apart was that the DLC content that they did have. I don't know if it was a part of the game, the core story. I don't think it was. I think it was for all of it was online. But it was all free. Like you paid $60 at the time for the game, and then after you paid that one flat fee, they've been keeping up with it. And ever since it came out back in 2013, it's been in the top 10 chart for like forever. It still is, which is crazy to believe that. But like now 6, I don't know. if it would be day one for me, not in the fact that I would be I don't like it, but rather on the fact that the reason why I ask, well, I guess it gets to my question on it, is that would you buy this game for $100? that's the question, because there are a lot of speculators are saying that this game is going to be one of the first games to be $100, and I think that like myself, like if I find a justifiable reason to spend that kind of cash for one game that's worth $100, I would say GTA is probably would be the only one to do it, because from what they've shown in their back history on the record on how they kept up with 5 for as long as they have, and the amount of content that they're constantly pushing out on it for it. I could see that the 100 and then if they keep it the same way, mind you, of like saying that, like, besides the monetization, which is the big fear, is that you're going to monetize and then charge $100 is a scary thing. But the way that they did it in 5 was actually pretty fair for the most part. It was all, the DLC was free. They kept on keeping up with new content in it. You don't have to do anything specifically different to it, and then they just kept up with the maintenance of the game itself. So in that aspect, I would be like, yes. The thing that I'm worried about is that once other companies see the success of that, which that GTA, if any company, that's the outlier to be getting away with that $100. Everyone else is going to be doing it, which is
and
scary.
It doesn't matter if they're making like a GTA level game or not. Like at that point, like they're just gonna make whatever game they're cranking out $100. I'm not going to pay $100 for a game. I definitely spent $100 on games before that I've liked, and I like, online stuff like that, but I'm not spending $100 for GTA if only just to like vote with my wallet and wait for it to come down and just let them know, like, I don't support that. I'm not going to do that because I don't want to see.
Yeah, I don't want to see
that. Yeah. I mean, that's what sucks is like, we really have no idea how it's going to be. Like, this might be the first GTA that kind of sucks. Like, I mean, paying $100 for a game just because it's got that reputation and a lot of hype built around it. I just don't think that is a good precedent to set, because, like I said, they're going to start charging that much for like whatever games they can. It doesn't matter if it's going to be something that has GTA level hype and GTA level, what it brings to the table.
I think that sets a very bad precedent too. Because now some companies are going to try to charge games. Let's say hypothetically they do that. Some companies will try to charge $100 for games, and then some games will feel bloated, and they're going to try to start making them longer for no reason. And like, I'm perfectly fine with length of video games. Like, my experience is my experience, and I pay for my experience. I don't care if a game is 10 hours. I play Xenoblade, right? I'm okay with 100-hour games. Like, it's fine. Like my thought process with long games is I'm not trying to play it every day. Like, I take an hour to play it one day or 2 hours that day. I don't have nothing to do that day. I'm finna game out. So I'm fine with that. But when it comes to some companies, they're going to try to leverage it as $100 game. And in my head, it's like, it's already $100 in a lot of cases, right? If you play certain games, I come from fighting games, right? And I don't have a problem with this at all personally, because I know I'm more of a competitor. So buying the DLC for those games, right, I'm going to buy them anyway because I need to practice and get that experience against those said characters and matchups. So for me, I don't hate it like that. But like $70 game, then the season's pass of content, which if I waited later, I'm going to end up spending like $35, $40. More than just paying the 25 extra bucks for it. But it's like causing 100 and then probably trying to charge DLC on top of it is insane. Because if your game's not good, I wouldn't even want to pay for that anyway. That's like only like I'll be honest, there's like 3 games on top of my head that I'll probably like spend the money for, but I need them. Like, they're retro, they're older games, and that's what I want, right? Like, for example, a copy of Super Smash Bros. Melee, I would drop the 100 for it because I really want that type of vintage thing on me and showcased in the cabinet in another part of my place. But a whole different discussion, right? And I would get so pissed off if I see GTA getting bought for $100, but all these other games people was complaining about before this were probably more features. Like, I don't want to play that.
Well, you know what? I would say like this though, because like, don't get me wrong. I'm in the same boat. I don't think that I would pay $100 for it. But yeah. I'm just saying, if any game that comes, and the reason why I wouldn't do it is not besides the fact that it's $100, but also the fact that I think the president is going to be there, and then people think that that's going to be the cash cow for other, or the justification for other companies to do it, and and then how fragile the gaming right now is as a business is. Like, I think that, like, people's patience of like seeing the return back of those of the atrocity of of theoretical, oh yeah, we're gonna make this game come out, it's gonna be $100, and then they realize the sales is not hitting their expectations, and what's gonna happen? Studio shuts down and stuff like that. We're just gonna see that being vamped up a lot, quite substantially. I'm just saying that, like, theoretically, if what GTA has done in the past especially with 5. Showing, I think 5 is probably the biggest case for them to be like, okay, you know what, we could possibly do that, because theoretically, like, in my mind, they've lost a lot of money on 5 in itself with the amount of DLC. Because I was just looking through the DLC list that they made 18 different DLC lists, and then all that was free. Like, there was no cosmetics. The cosmetic side was really the mods that modders did for the game on PC itself, and stuff like that. So to say that they would want to have the justification saying we're going to give you $100, I could see why they're thinking they would think that in the first place, because 18 DLCs alone and then giving it as free content is a lot of money and a lot of time in itself. And I can but to Doss's point of saying that you can't really go by, even though that they've been consistent, but we don't know how the game is now, is like, it's a very good is a good reason why you wouldn't want to do it. So, like, if there was a game plan of, like, there has to be a road plan. I mean, for the amount of time that we've been waiting and then process and stuff like that. Even though as pessimistic as I usually am, I do have my faith that they are going to do right in the reason why they would do that $100. Am I going to do it? Hell no, because it's a lot of money. I'm not going to do it. But I just think in the bigger picture it's not healthy. I don't think it'll be healthy enough to be like, oh, look at this. We got what's called GTA 6 sold 10 million in the first 3 days. So I guess Madden 2027, when it comes out, we're going to release that as $100, and then realize, oh, that was a terrible idea, because we didn't think that we thought that everyone was going to go into it because GTA 6 did. It's like, no, it's not. But we know these fools are definitely going to go that way. We know these fools are going to go this way for it. We know some of the horrible companies like Ubisoft. Come to think of it, Star Wars Outlaws had 4 tiers of their of the game that came out.
That's right. Yeah.
Their base game was $70, but then their premium was $100, and then their ultimate was $120, and they're doing the same thing for Assassin's Creed Shadows. And then what they gave you was basically shit. You remember, like, back so, like, I mean, it's already kind of here now, and then they know, but I don't think that people are biting on that as much anymore, so but to say that the intro deck or the intro game is going to be at 100, and then plus on top of that, this game's going to have a premium and a limited and a super limited edition that's going to probably cost like $300 or whatever, and people are just going to gobble that shit up, Yep. So I mean, so it's really tough. It's really tough for me to say but I'm totally on the board with you, Doss, on saying, like, show your show your strength with your wallet, and just try to hold off on it and see how long it's going to be, because this game is going to it's going to break records. I mean, they're not going. It's just too strong to fail, and I don't think it's going to fail. So I mean, but and I don't want it to fail, but I'm just saying that it's going to hopefully it's going to change. It's going to change how things are going to be viewed on sales and stuff, one way or the other. If it sells at 100, that is. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but anyways. But yeah, I mean, but anyway, I was just kind of thinking because, like, I was like, you know, I can't be the only one to think that I would not do this. Like, but
so like, here's my honest truth. I'm gonna just come out and say it because a lot of people won't. There are some games I would be willing to do for 100.
I'm sure there is.
I won't lie. Yeah, like example, like Monster Hunter would be one I would have probably caved for. Like, I'm not gonna lie to myself. Final Fantasy Rebirth Part 3. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I'm dropping the collector's edition for that. I have all of them. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. But for base editions, I just do not like the idea of setting that precedent, right? Because I've been in the scape of, like, from a content creator's perspective, like, it's easier for us to justify spending that money because it's write-off stuff, right? But at the same time, I don't want to put that out there that it's okay for them to do this. So with GTA 6, like, for example, I had this issue growing up too. When 2K, I used to be a heavy 2K person. I got into 2K because everybody in my high school was playing it. And then, like, a year or two after high school, I was like, bro, I keep buying the same game. I'm tired of this shit. And my homies would be like, nah, bro, we all playing to hop on. I'm like, no, we play something else. You know, I don't want to keep giving them the same money and they ain't making improvements. And that 1 year they cracked and everybody was like, this is the same thing. It was like around the pandemic, a little after this, like, yo, this game sucks, right? They started adding changes and fixing. And I was like, see, speaking with your wallet, right, when they get a little dip in sales, changed everything for 2K. Don't get it wrong, 2K still made it bad.
Worse. It's worse now.
But they fix one and then they go back to it and it's like,
then they're like, hey, we're going to double down on microtransactions. That's what they ended up deciding to do. So no, hell no. So no, I'm good. Or what's it called? My 2K or whatever it is. Spend the 1G on just. I knew a person that spent $1,000 on just a sports game, and I was like, that is ridiculous. You have a problem, bro. It's like you got to calm down. But anyways. But thank you. Hey DOS, hey Avatar. It was really fun to talking games with you as always. So, but guys, definitely, yeah. I know. I just realized I typed your name wrong on your Twitch thing on your title. But guys, check out DOS. DOS is one. DOS Good TV. Great content creator. It's always trippy because of the after images when you move around and stuff. It's always so cool. yeah. It's always a fun party kind of deal. It's always great. As well as Avatar Yaya. Go check him out. Hey, if you could, Lex, give him a shout out on our thing, on our chat box. But folks. Man, look at that. Look at the backgrounds, man. It's just so crazy, dude. It's so crazy. But folks, thank you. It's like an acid trip when I look at you every time.
It's not an acid trip. It's a Dacid trip.
Oh, there you go. Dacid trip. There we go. Man, it's so great. Hey, but folks, thank you for calling. Thank you for watching and listening on CFG Game Cast, episode number 254. Thank you for being a part of the conversation. As always, we will be back again next week with a whole new set of different topics. I believe Lex and, I'm sorry, not Lex, but Smitty and Pop will be back as well. But if you did miss out on this episode, that is perfectly all right. We release it on all podcast services at the beginning of each and every week, so there's absolutely no reason to miss out on all sexy voices. Yes, guys, be sure to check us out on our website, confreaksgeeks.com. Some awesome content, and also go to the Game On Expo in Phoenix, Arizona come see us and say hello. We will be having a great time there. I cannot wait. We are less than a month away there, and always. So just if you're wanting to get your tickets now, use the code CFGG for a good discount and go from there. So once again, this is Davis, Lex, DOS, and Avatar saying goodbye. Y'all, take it easy.
Bye.